I've just come back from being in town and in the shops and that. And I just went into Sports Direct just for a little look, nothing specific. And then when I was in there, I sort of got to the back of the shop where the women's stuff is. And I was just thinking to myself, oh yeah, I was thinking about going to buy more underwear for myself. And at this point in time, I've not yet had top surgery. So I still need to have like women's underwear basically. And I was just trying to be in there looking for stuff, but then it just makes me feel so uncomfortable to do this. It's why I've never done it before, or even really thought about going into an actual physical shop to look at these things, because it's not my place to be in the women's section. It's unfortunate that I still have to wear some element of women's underwear, obviously, because I've not had top surgery, and binders are something that I don't wear or have ever had, so that's something that I don't think about or have, because it's not something that I do. I've never been big chested in any way. I still have major chest dysphoria. I just feel like I need something that's there that makes it less obvious, or just makes it seem like I don't have a female chest. And I know a binder would be the thing to do that, but with me, I just haven't ever wanted one. I wouldn't mind trying one, but I've just never had it. Like I've said, when I was in Sports Direct, I was just trying to look, but there was quite a lot of people in there, and I didn't want them to think that I was some sort of weirdo creep, basically. And I think what I was trying to do was make it look like I was looking at something else nearby, which was still uncomfortable for me to do. I was trying to look at something else, but actually looking at bras basically. And then I saw the Jack Wills section, and the Jack Wills ones is the ones that I currently have. I could not tell you how long I've had them, so I was like, well, maybe I should see if they've got the same ones or ones very similar from the brand. And they did, and I know they're a bit pricey and a bit expensive. I looked at them and I saw this box with 2 in, and it was reduced to £7, and I was genuinely so nervous and I felt so sick inside. I went over to pick them up, and there was a few people nearby, and I was genuinely thinking, oh god, what are they thinking about me being there and going to pick up what I was picking up? They didn't look at me, they didn't do anything, they didn't say anything, which is something that I've always been worried about happening, is that someone's gonna say something, someone's gonna do something, and it just all makes me feel so physically sick for a few different reasons, and it just completely and utterly sets off my anxiety. And it's just avoided that type of thing constantly in my life, because it's not very good for me and my health to put myself through that. Looking at this stuff, picking it up, walking towards it is one thing, but then the next thing is walking around the shop to go straight to the till, putting it down on the counter, then the people working in there scanning it, and then me paying for it is a completely different thing. It's slightly better when I've paid for it and walked out, because the stuff's in a bag, people can't see what it is. Even that is still part of this. It's what I have in the bag, and I know that it's there, and I know that it's something that I shouldn't have to be buying or shouldn't have to have, basically. And I know if somebody hypothetically said something towards me, then I can just say, oh, it's for my sister, even though I don't have a sister. But I could say that it's for my cousin. I do have a female cousin, so I could make it seem like it's for her, or she asked me to go and pick it up. I just wouldn't know if someone would believe that in any way. Thankfully, in my life, in these very rare situations that I actually go into a shop and look at these things and pick these things up and buy them, it's never been a situation where someone has done something. Maybe I should start to realise that someone more than likely just isn't going to do anything. They're just going to go through life doing their own business and sorting their own life out, that they're not going to think or worry about someone else. Or at least that's what I hope anyway. What I picked up in the shop was this. It's in a box, and thankfully it was reduced to £7 rather than $16.99 for something that I don't want people to know that I have, even though I'm putting this out on the internet. I don't want to spend too much money. For me, hopefully, potentially, I could get top surgery this year. I'll do another video on that at some point so you know what's going on with that. But my next top surgery appointment is October and it's currently August, so I've got a little while for that. The only thing I've got a problem with these is, one, the fact that I still have to wear them, and two is the design of them, because the ones that I currently have, they're the same shape, and I've always been very, very self-conscious of the fact of the shape at the back. I had these other ones where the straps were wider, so they weren't as close to the collar of a t-shirt, but with the ones that I've got on now, the strap is sort of there, so if this t-shirt moved over, you can see it there. The design of these are the same, so it's that sort of design, if you can see that. So the strap at the back is centered, and then they come over the shoulder closer to the top of my t-shirt. A few times recently when I've needed my hair cut, I've not even bothered trying to go into a barber's because of these bras basically, and the fact that if my t-shirt moves when they put a tissue round my collar, even after the haircut and they've taken the gown off and taken the tissue off, I didn't want them to notice or see that. It's a barber's, and even now it's a place where men go in typically. That is, yeah, I've just never wanted them to realise or notice. Potentially at some point in the past they have and just not said anything, but that's the thing, they've never said anything. The thing is, I just don't want confrontation, and I want to feel comfortable in the barbers to get a haircut in the first place. It's something that I forced myself into to do this because I realistically needed new ones, and I typically only buy clothes in November, December because they're cheaper, but I saw these at a reduced price at £7. I just didn't want to have to pay extra money for delivery and then have to wait even longer for them to be delivered in the first place. Sports Direct uses every delivery, and every delivery is completely and utterly useless. I am actually glad that I did this, and I'm hoping that it doesn't have to go on for too much longer. We will just have to see what happens with top surgery. I forced myself into what I think is a very, very uncomfortable situation. The whole medical transition process, I think, has made me feel a lot better. If it hadn't, then doing this would have been something that I would never have done even if I needed it. I'm actually grateful that I've done this.